Good morning, traders and investors. My name is Roger Scott, and I'm the senior strategist for Wealth Press. Today is Wednesday. It's April 13th. The market's going to open up in about an hour and, about an hour and 45 minutes to be exact. We are open. We're pre-opening. We're up quite a bit, about 87 points on the Nasdaq, about 130 on the Dow. Now, as I've been saying to you, typically when you see 88 points on the Nasdaq open, that's quite a bit, but the volatility has been crazy lately, and the markets have been just going nuts. The big report before the opening is the PPI. Yesterday, we had the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. While the numbers were not low, they were on the upper end of the range. They were still better than what we were expecting and based on the fear levels that Wall Street had built in. So the market actually rallied based on that report and then came down. Today's report is not as instrumental because Producers Price Index is not as big of a factor as a Consumer Price Index, especially on an inflationary front, because producers are still going to be paying no matter what, where a consumer can say, hey, you know what, I got to slow down. So year over year, we're looking at 10.6%. On a month-to-month, which isn't as prevalent, we're looking at 1.1%. The numbers coming out in about 45 or 44 minutes. Keep an eye on it. It's going to set the tone of the day. Now, in light of that, also keep your eye on the bond market. The bond market is very, very instrumental right now because, let me show you this. If the bond market starts congesting or starts going higher, it's going to put some relief on the stock market because remember, lower bonds, higher interest rates, worse for certain stocks. So if we can start moving choppy or maybe moving a little bit higher, I would love to see us go to the 132, 135 area so I could sell the bond. Also, we are oversold right now. So the fact that bonds may be moving a little bit higher off of the oversold territory and the fact that the markets are not impacted or not responding as negatively as I thought to the CPI and hopefully to the PPI, we will see some upside. Typically, Wednesday and Thursdays are positive days for the market, where beginning of the week and the end of the week is not. And also tomorrow we have retail sales, which may impact consumer discretionary. Now, I want to show you guys something really interesting technically. If you look at the Dow right now, it looks like we've been congesting, especially after that last rally. But look at tech. Tech looks like it's almost on the floor, right? I mean, RSI is getting down there, but it looks like we're almost down. Also, look at communications. It looks like we're going down. But the Dow Jones looks like it's holding up fairly well. The reason that's the case is because if you look at all the various sectors, you'll see that like utilities, it's not really ready to go down. It's more of a choppiness area. Same thing with energies. They don't look like they're ready to go down. They look like they're ready to chop. Same thing with consumer staples. Same thing with basic materials. They look like they're in a trading range right now. Even industrial looks like it's in a trading range. Real estate looks like it's in a range. Healthcare looks like it could be trending. And same thing with financials. But when you look at communication services, technology, and consumer discretionary, those three look like they have a little bit more downside to go. So the market is not overall as bearish as it seems, but these three sectors we have to watch carefully for, because if this is near the low and if the Dow, which is still congesting, if it's going to turn around right now or maybe go a little bit lower, we'll still remain within this range, and then we can rally from here from this point on, which would confirm what I've been saying, that after a strong move like this, the market needs a little time to consolidate before going higher. But we're not in as bad of a position as I thought we would be, especially in light of the fact that if you look at the stock market sectors, it says today, but remember, this is yesterday. We haven't started trading yet today. Look at consumer discretionary. You have energy, utilities, and consumer discretionary and basic materials. So this is really, really odd. Now, if you look back 1 month, you'll see that consumer discretionary fell, and same thing with infotech. But it's not in the last spot anymore. It's starting to move higher. On a 5-day basis, it's now all the way down. But the point is, we're starting to see some play out of these stocks. So it may be a fact where they're pricing in the inflationary pressure that the Fed is ready to put on in our direction. Because honestly, we already know everything that's priced in. Looking at market internals, put to call ratio is still favoring the puts, which means the market has some upside potential. Anytime we're near this area here, That means the market is near oversold territory because there's way too many more put buyers than call buyers. And when we're near this area, it means there's too many call buyers. But we haven't been in this area quite some time. I mean, ever since last year, the puts have been overbearing the calls, and that's why this needs to reverse, and we should see a rally. Now, talking about global economy, not so much news today. We're still digesting and we're still figuring out what we're going to do with this data. PPI, retail sales, industrial production when the market's closed, which I think is a stupid idea, and consumer sentiment. Again, as I've mentioned many times, putting consumer sentiment on the same day as retail sales is probably the dumbest thing the Fed could do, because they're very similar reports. Now, let's talk a little bit about global economy. New data showed inflation in the U.S., while still at a 40-year high, was not as bad as some analysts expected, which is why the market rallied yesterday in the morning. Shares fell in Shanghai after Chinese government reported that exports rose nearly 16% in March from a year earlier, while imports were flat. The easing of COVID lockdown in Shanghai was another encouraging factor for the markets. I'm hoping that will continue. There's a major worry in the U.S. Federal Reserve may be aggressive in their rate hikes, that it forces the economy into a recession in order to save itself. I hope that's not the case, but boy, oh boy, they want to double up on everything right now. Higher interest rates can discourage all types of investments. Earnings are here, and this is going to be a major part of the stock market trading action over the next couple of weeks. Why? Because the earnings are expected to be really crappy this quarter. So if they're a little bit better than expected, we could see a nice juicy rally. We've got Delta Airlines, Chase, and others starting to report today, and I'll give a full a full earnings update. Now, today is Wednesday, and Wednesday we talk about the best sector, leading and lagging sectors. Now, I'm going to show you the sector that I'm really, really liking right now. The sector that I'm really, really liking right now is actually energies and utilities. They're very defensive right now, and I like basic materials too. So if I had to be a buyer of any of these threes, I would go with basic materials. Why? Because there's a potential that energy prices may be peaking out or close to peaking out. Where basic materials, we're still in the middle of this war, and we've got so many issues with basic materials that I'm starting to see them take over the market cap in my stock fetcher. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is actually subtle, but something you need to pay attention to. Well, with me, nothing is subtle. But let me show you this. Avoid this AT&T. I don't even know why it's here. But Mosaic now is the number one stock. That's a basic material stock. They make chemicals and copper. So for copper and basic materials to use in batteries and so forth. This is energy. This is energy. This is basic material. So this is basic material. This is basic material. So there's a lot more basic material in here than energy. I remember let me just go a month ago. Look at this. Basic materials, but look, energy, right? All of this is energy. Now it's a little more broad. Forget the AT&T. This is an error. I don't know how it got here. But Mosaic is now number one. Still a lot of energy, but you got basic materials. You've got Dollar Tree in here, which is consumer staples. You've got metals in here. So it's getting a little bit more towards basic materials. So I actually am favoring this sector right here, right now, basic materials. And I've been all over it the last few days. I believe this stock has more potential to go higher, and I also like how it's congesting and staying within range right now. And also, just saying, all-time highs on basic materials is right here, and we're at 89. So we're not all that far off. Now, as far as options on basic materials, let me give you an option. The option I would go with right now would be the September. It's got 129 days left. There's a good chance we're going to make an all-time high. I would go with, let's see here. Ooh, there's not a lot of open interest on these. Here we go, 87. you can definitely find a better bid. You could do 87, or you could do. You just need to work the order, but you can get some good ones. Or you can go to the summer, to the June expiration, where there's plenty of liquidity, and they're just really, really cheap at this point. You know what? I would probably go with this one and just roll it over in about 30 days. Now that I look at it, because it's just got so much more open interest. Here you can get the 88 for like just a couple of dollars. I mean, you can get the 89 for like $3 right now. And there's plenty of open interest right here. So get this and then roll it over if no soup in about 20, 22 days. But I really like the basic materials right now. Keep your eye on Producers Price Index, the key number. And again, we've been kind of all over the place, but the key number is 10.6% and 1.1%. If the number is lower than 10.6%, then producers' inflation is not as bad, and we may get a better rally, especially on basic materials, industrial stocks, consumer discretionary. So keep your eye on these numbers. The reports come out in 34 minutes, and hopefully I'll get this video out to you by then. Now, before I let you go, I want to tell you something important. New Money crew Lance Ippolito had no idea that corporate insiders were trading so aggressively, but it presents a major opportunity for those who can track them. So he dug deeper to find out more. And guess what he found out? He found out that these corporate insiders are more informed than ever before. And unfair or not, they've leveraged that information to capitalize on the stock market. So Lance went live. He went live this week to share how average traders can benefit from these insider moves. Folks, check this out. Insiders right now are really getting nervous about the market, and they're doing everything possible to get an edge in this market. And Lance is going to show you how you can benefit from insider action right now. Click the link below, learn and add the insider imprint today. You need to know about this. Check this out. Lance is really hot right now. He knows his stuff. You gotta check this out. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about one long, one short actionable trade ideas. I hope you enjoy my top ETF, which is basic materials, and the option pick I gave you with it. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Send me some feedback. Support@marketgeeks.com. Bye.